Girl, you make me go so loco, loco, make me go crazy. We would make a beautiful baby. Knock on wood, is you trying to date me? Is it yes, is it no?
This story time, I don't have any like receipts or anything because I was a kid, but this is the story time of when I caught my ex cheating and I acted a fool. Let me give a little bit backstory first, really quick. So I was dating this guy. I think I met him when I was like 12 or something, and we started dating when I was 14. Mind you, he's just shy of 10 years my senior, so yeah. And I didn't date anybody before or after him until I met Rose. At the time, I think I was 15 or 16 when this happened. He was living with his mom. Come to find out he was living with her by choice, but then at the time I didn't know, so I was just like trying to be a supportive girlfriend, even though, anyway, we're not gonna get into those parameters. But so for whatever reason, I was at his mom's house. I don't remember how I got there, why I was there, but he didn't have his own place, so I was at his mom's house with all his younger siblings and her, obviously. So I asked him, I had homework because I'm a kid. I had homework, so I asked him if I could use his computer, and he was like, yeah, sure, go ahead, just don't use Mozilla or something like that. He either said don't use Internet Explorer, don't use Mozilla. And I was like, it was a weird thing to say because like I always use Google Chrome. Like I've always only used Google Chrome. I think his siblings and stuff were at school and like I was there and his mom was also there, but she was like in her room. He slept on the floor in the living room. So I mean, yeah. So we were just like in the living room, and then he was like, okay, you can use my computer, just don't use Mozilla Fox, I'm about to get in the shower. So I was just like, okay, yeah, you do that. I was in the shower, and I don't know, because I think he said don't use it because like it makes the computer slow or something, some excuse. And I was just like, oh, okay, in his face. But like, I don't know if it was like Scorpio me, Gemini or whatever, but it was like, look at Mozilla, look at Mozilla, look at it was just like, look at it, girl. Like, why did he say that? Like, why did you say that? So unborn, why did you say that? So he's like, he goes in the shower, and I'm like, open the computer, and I'm like, at first I am in Chrome, just in case. Like, my thing was, okay, just in case he like comes out and is like, oh, I forgot my deodorant, oh, I forgot my soap, let me run out and grab it. I wanted it to look like, you know, he can see me on Google. Like, I wanted him to see that I was on Google and didn't just immediately jump to Mozilla Fox. And just in case he checked the history, I wanted to show that actually I was in Chrome, just in case. Okay, cool. So I go in there, I go to whatever website I need to go to, and you know, I'm just bobbing around, looking, doing homework, and I'm like, okay, I'm listening for the shower to cut on. I'm listening for like the shower curtain to go back. Okay, give it a few more seconds. Okay, cool. So then I jump to Mozilla Fox. Do that, and I am like, okay, why? Like, do you want to do this right now? Like, do you really want to find something in here right now? And then my brain was like, yes, you do. I go in, open the tab, click on the history, and the history is like cleared. It was like cleared for an hour, 24 hours in the past week. So I'm like, clearly you didn't just download Mozilla Fox. So I'm scrolling all the way to the bottom of the history, bottom. And I see some dating application. I think it was Bumble. or was it okay, or was it Meet Me? I think it was Meet Me, actually. He loved Meet Me. So I'm like, gotcha. Gotcha, nigga! So I jump back to Chrome because I'm like, okay, just because my heart is racing at this point. And when I'm upset, like I start sweating, so I'm like trying to calm myself down. And at first, so the way his mom's place was set up is, we'll just use this as an example. This is a good example. So if let's say, obviously this is the kitchen and like this way, and if there was more, because my kitchen stops right here, but if there was like a hallway that just went straight back where the fridge is, then like the hallway was like, within that hallway was the door to the bathroom. So I'm turned back, you can obviously see over my shoulder. So I'm like, okay, let me move around to the other side of the table so that I'm actually facing the kitchen and facing the hallway so I can see him come out. So I'm looking at this Bumble account and I was like, okay, do you want to click on it? So I click on it. Okay, I click on it. And then I'm looking, and I'm seeing pictures of him, and I'm seeing DMs to literally dozens of girls in the Washington State area. So I'm like, really? And you know, mind you, at the time, even though I lost my virginity to him, I did not sleep with him that often. When we had sex, it was so weird. There were times where it burned, and I'm gonna talk about that in another video. But there were times where it burned, and you know, I just didn't like having sex with him. So yeah, clearly, I don't know, he was thirsty or something. But like when I would be like, you know, it hurts or something, like, and or he would be in the mood to do it, and I would tell him I didn't want to. At first, like when we were first dating, like that first year, like he didn't pressure me to sleep with him. He would just cheat. Ciao. Anyway, but I think this was like the first time that I actually like caught him cheating. Like, go on Bumble, I'm seeing him, hey, to like hello girls, right? The girls weren't necessarily my cup of tea, but I wasn't even like, how they looked was not even really a factor. I did click on some profiles, but it was kind of like whatever. So I'm looking and I'm seeing, like, he was one of those guys who would say hey and then send a shirtless pic. And if you're a girl and you're watching this and like you've ever gotten a DM that says hey and then you get a D pic, or hey and then you get a shirtless pic or something, and it's just like, ugh, like. So yeah, he was one of those guys, just based on the messages. I was like, not you being thirsty, like be smooth with it, like come on dog, like come on dog. So I'm just looking through, and he comes out the bathroom. So now I'm ready. Mind you, also, though he cleared the history, obviously you can tell by when the message was sent. The last one was sent like an hour before I showed up. So he comes out in a towel, and I'm just like, oh, have you been working out? Because he would send pictures of him like flexing, but you could tell like it was one of those, let me flex with a photo, and then you have like a big old, anyway. So I asked him, have you been working out? And he was like, no, not really. Like, I haven't been working out. I lift a lot, at work. You know that. I do warehousing, I lift a lot at work, so it's mostly my arms. It's not really anything else. But I am going to start going to the gym. And I was like, oh, okay. So he's like, are you good? Like, what's wrong? And I'm like, yeah, like, I'm fine. I'm just hungry. He's like, okay, I'll make you some food. I'm like, So I'm trying to be calm. Cute, collected, not because I want to, but only because we're at his mama's house. And yes, mom, she knew how old I was. We all went to the same church. So, yeah. But, you know, my parents, they didn't go to the church. They were of the same religion. They just didn't go to the church. So they didn't know about our relationship. He gets back in the bathroom. He's, whatever, getting ready. Cause I think he said he was gonna cook or that we were gonna go get some food, but I'm mad and I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry at all. So I can't hold it in no more. Like, I can't. So he comes back out, he's dressed, and I'm like, are you cheating on me? And he was like, man, what the fuck? Why are you asking me that? Don't ask stupid questions. And I'm like, okay. So what the fuck is this? Turn the computer. Bow. There's the Mozilla. Turn the computer and there's the Bumble account. So he looked at it and he walked away. And I'm like, hello? You don't see me? You have nothing to say? You have nothing to say. I was like, at least try. I think I said that. Like, at least try an excuse. Like, do you have a reason why you're cheating? Like, is it because I don't want to sleep with you? Is that why? He's like, no, that's not why. I'm not even cheating on you. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, I'm not yelling because this isn't my house, but I am like, hello? The fuck? You're caught. So he comes back, like, he walks down the hallway over to me. He's like, you don't know what you're talking about. That's not even my account. I didn't even give this man a name. We're gonna name him Roach. That's the first thing that came to my mind. We're gonna name him Roach. And I'm like, so somebody's pretending to be you, you're being catfished, and you just have the login and everything? And he's like, yeah, I'm being catfished. I'm being catfished by my brother. I said, hold on. I said, Roach. Mind you, okay, he did have a lot of siblings. Like, he had hella siblings. And he was the oldest. However, he was, okay, so I'm 5'4". He is like 5'3". I ended up being, like, growing an extra inch because at first we were the same height. And we could fit into each other's clothes at the time. And this is before I gained like 50, 60 pounds. So I'm like 100 pounds and he's 5'3" at the time. So 5'3", we could fit into each other's clothes. Trust me, like, he put on one of my dresses and it fit him. That's a whole different story. So I'm like, oh, and his brothers, all his siblings, he has a sister, she's like 5'7" or 5'8". All his brothers, who are his younger brothers, by the way, are all like 5'11", 6'2", big old, like, southern, like, corn-fed niggas, like, could pick up a big old thick girl like it's nothing. Like, that's what they look like. And you over here, 5'3", shrimp, like, it wasn't giving, I'm giving what it has to give to have them, like, catfish me. Does that make sense? Like, you telling me that these tall, extra, I could pick up a couch by myself type of niggas are using your photos? Okay, cool. So he said, no, like, I was like, really? They're using your photos? Really? That is the excuse. And he's like, ain't no excuse. It's the truth. It's the truth. I have to give him a name. He has a brother who's like a year or two younger than him. Again, same general stature as the rest of the siblings, like 6 feet plus and 200 pounds, big dudes. Real cool. What can I name him? Billy Bob. I don't know, Billy Bob, or should I name Rufus? Rufus, we're gonna name him Rufus. So Roach is like, yeah, Rufus, he wanted my photos because he was shy about posting himself on social media. And I'm like, it's not social media, from my understanding. I said, it's not social media. It's literally a dating app. What the fuck are you talking about? And why does your brother have shirtless photos of you? Like, it's not making sense. It's not making sense. I was like, Roach, please. And I said, Roach, please come up with another excuse, because I was telling him, I'm like, this one ain't going your way. Because at this point, like, the anger is starting to go down, because I'm finding out that I'm getting cheated on, but the anger is starting to go down and the irritation is starting to go up, because it's like, can you try? I'm not saying I want to be lied to, because I don't. Like, I don't want to be lied to by anybody that I'm with. However, with him, it's like he would just say anything. Like, that's one thing I didn't, aside from various other things, that is like the most irritating thing that I went through being with that person. Because it's like, he would just lie and be like, he could have a cookie in one hand and I'll be like, oh, is that a cookie? No, it's a popsicle. What? No, like, it's a popsicle. It's literally a popsicle. Like, just stupid shit. Anyway, back to the story. So he's like, no, it's Rufus. Rufus, he really wanted to like start dating, but he was shy because he just moved back up here, blah blah blah. And I'm like, so I'm irritated and I'm like begging him to lie. Give me another lie. I'm begging him, give me another lie, because this, give me a noun, because it's not working for you right now.
Mythological hero Achilles. Not excited.
Okay, so I'm like, okay, call Rufus right now. He's like, huh? I said, call Rufus right now. He was like, I can't call him right now, he's at work. So I'm like, okay, send him a text. Show me the text. Send Rufus a text right now. Right now. He's like, I just told you he's at work. I'm like, send him a text. At this point, his mom's coming out and she's like, Mel, like, and the mom was giving, the mamas whose sons can do no wrong. Yeah, that was that, and I'm not gonna say no more. But yeah, she really had an attitude with me. Mind you, like I said, I wasn't yelling. This isn't my house. This isn't even his house. Like, if it was like us in his house, then I probably would be yelling. But like, this is her house, so I'm not yelling. I'm really like, I think I'm still sitting down at the table at this point, and he's the one who's standing up. Like, because I'm so just like discombobulated with everything that's happening right now. The mom comes out and she's like, Mel, like I don't even know like why you don't believe him. Like, Rufus, he really is at work. And I'm like, that's fine. I still want him to send a text. He tells her, yeah, like, she's tripping, she's doing too much. Like, she really thinks that I'm out here like on these date naps. Who goes on date naps to meet people out here having sex? And I'm like, I ain't saying nothing about no sex. I didn't say anything about sex. So he was telling his mom, like, yeah, like, it's Rufus, like, he wanted to use my pictures. And you know what? Her face said exactly what the fuck I told y'all about, like, shrimp. She was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's at work right now. Yeah, he's at work right now, so like he can't call him right now. I'm like, okay, he can send a text. And like anyway, like her face was like, girl, I'm right here, but like her mouth was like, but I'm about to defend my baby boy. So not that I wanted her to jump in, I didn't want her to get involved at all, but like he was getting loud, so she came out, and it was just like, so at this point I'm irritated like to the max. Like, woo, I'm irritated because like, you're lying. We all know you're lying. You know you're lying, okay? And you're really about to sit here and try to play me, okay? Try to play me like I'm stupid as fuck, right? So I'm like, okay, bet, let's go to the car. But yeah, I did not want to argue in front of his damn mama because it was just not becoming. It was just not becoming of me to do that. So I'm like, okay, let's go to the car. And we go to the car. Well, he gets the keys and he unlocks the car, and I just like bolt out the door. I go to the car. I open the door to passenger side, and something tells me like go in the glove compartment, like look on his side of like the door where you can like put stuff. So I look in there, I feel in there. You know what I find? Condoms. And obviously at the time we didn't use condoms. Not obviously because y'all weren't in my coochie, but like yeah, we weren't having sex, and when we did, we didn't use condoms. So I'm in this open. It's not like, it's like the box. It's like it's the Trojan box. He's still inside, assumingly talking to his mama about when he's gonna come back to the house to sleep on the floor some more. So I pull the condoms out of the car, and I'm like, oh, so you're not cheating? And at this point, like I'm about to get real ghetto, and not my proudest moment. So I'm like, there was like a few like condoms left, but I don't even remember how big the pack was, but it was like a box. It was like a big box of condoms. I'm like, damn, like shit. So I'm like, they're like all like attached, so I'm like ripping the condoms like off, like detaching them, and I'm throwing them all over the parking lot. Mind you, her landlord lives on top of her, so I'm chucking them up to the landlord because I don't give a fuck, because at this point she pissed me off. Well, she's been pissing me off, and he's pissing me off, so I'm chucking them up to the landlord's door. I'm chucking them to other cars in the parking lot. I'm like walking over, putting them on windshields. Ghetto, I know. So I'm like, you not cheating? You not cheating? And then I grab a brick, y'all. I grab a brick, and I was like, you gonna stop lying? I'm gonna bust this window out. You gonna stop lying? I'm gonna bust this window out. When I started throwing the condoms, he didn't come out. He didn't come out, but I know he could hear me because like the screen door was closed, but like the actual like door was like open, so like you could hear me. So when I said that I'll bust his window out, he comes running out. His mama come running out after, and his mom is like, what are you doing? I'm about to call the police. I'm about to call the police right now. I'm about to call the police right now. If he put hands on you, don't say nothing. I'm about to call the police right now. And he's like, don't bust my window, please. Don't bust my window. Like, and I was like, I didn't even care about what he was saying. I was looking at her. I'm like, call the police. Call the police. Yes, call the police.
Police! Help! Police! Help!
I didn't. I wasn't thinking about our age difference or anything. I really was just like so like, now it went from the irritation up here now to the anger up here because I saw the condoms. So at first we were like anger, irritation, then it went irritation, anger, and now we're matched. She go inside and he's like, no, don't go to police, don't go to police. And he hadn't seen that side of me before, because obviously I'm like a young teen, and they were my first everything, so whatever they said I basically just kind of followed. And this time I was just like not going for it. I was just like, nope, I'm not hearing it. I just want you to take me home. He's like, no, please, like let me explain. And I'm like, you know what's worse? You keep getting rejected by bitches, because in the messages I don't remember which dating app it was. I don't remember, but whichever one it was, you could see that they left you on red. And the majority of them left him on red. There were some LOLs after the hey. With the photo, there were some LOLs. So this is over 10 years ago. So I do not remember which app this was. But yeah, it wasn't one of those apps where you had to match in order for you to message someone. Like you could see that they were in your area, you could message them, and then yeah, it was just like that. So yeah, he was like, yes, you know, like, I haven't cheated on you, those condoms are mine, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, when would I have the time to cheat on you? Like, I go to work 12 hours a day, like, then I'm so exhausted and I'm tired, and I come home and I'm like, this ain't your house, this your mama's house, you sleep on the floor. And he's like, Mel, he's like, why you gotta say that? Like, why you gotta say all that? You know the type of situation I'm in. Mind you, I still ended up staying, by the way, because was a groomed dumb bitch. So he oftentimes really, I feel, looking back, I feel like he truly enjoyed sleeping in his mama's house. Like, I truly feel like he enjoyed sleeping on his mama's floor, because it's not like he was saving for anything, you know. And it's like every time he would get a place, something would happen, or he would allow something to happen for him to end up having to go back. Like, he would do shit, like do something like, oh, let me invite a friend over who is hella destructive. They destroy the place so bad that you end up getting kicked out. Like, or let me skip out on the rent or something like that and buy myself the new iPhone or the new PlayStation or something like that. So like, he would do shit, I feel, to intentionally go back to sleeping on his mama's floor. Anyway, so yeah, I was like, why the fuck, why? And he was like, well, you know, we haven't been having sex. And I'm like, why would I want to sleep with you? And his behavior disgusted me. Like, he was telling me that, you know, it'll never happen again. Like, I didn't have sex with these girls. Like, those condoms are actually Rufus's. And yeah, so his mom did not end up calling the police, or maybe she did, because we didn't stay there for that long. Yeah, that was basically the end of it. He ended up taking me home, and I stopped talking to him for a few months. We didn't talk. Then we got back together because like I really was, and a little bit inside, like, still am that type of person who doesn't like date. I like, if I'm with you, then like I'm with you, and I just want to like make it work with you, basically until it crashes and burns, I guess. But like, yeah, like, I don't want to like be dating this person, and like spreading myself so thin, especially because like we met it at church and stuff. So even more so, I was like, okay, trials and tribulations, we're dating to get married, which almost happened, and that'll be another story time. But yeah, he ended up taking me home. We stopped talking for a few months, like we stopped dating for a few months, but then we got back together and he just kept cheating on me. And yeah, so that's the end of the story time with a hot ass mess on how I turned into a ghetto mess. But yeah, he did admit everything. Like, no, and now looking back, I don't know if I was more irritated that he was cheating on me, or that he was trying to cheat, or he was cheating, but like he was getting rejected. And it really made me feel like shit, because I'm like, my nigga is not desirable at all. Like, who are these condoms for? Eventually I found out who they were for and I'll just tell y'all that another day. But yep, that's the end of the story time. Talk to y'all later.